It is my favorite time of year. I love fall, and I especially love decorating my home for fall. One of those things that I love to decorate my house with are candles. Believe it or not, I actually like to decorate my home with candles that I haven't made, and I buy a lot of these from Winners. And right now it is a candle that has the word pumpkin in it. I love pumpkins. I've been having a lot of fun decorating my house with little pumpkins. Just absolutely obsessed with pumpkins. But what does this have to do with sugar scrubs? Because I know a lot of you are watching this video because you clicked that title. Well, I was in Winners the other day and I found the absolute most amazing smelling candle. Pumpkin Coconut by Sand and Fog. And look how beautiful this vessel is. The gorgeous gold pumpkins against that white background, it's beautiful. And the smell is amazing. I had never thought to combine pumpkin and coconut together, but the scent is just magical. And then I realized I have pumpkin fragrance oil, I have coconut fragrance oil. Let's combine the two and make the most wonderful fall themed body scrub with the scent of pumpkin and coconut together. So that is what this video is all about, and if you want to see it all come together, then keep watching. Jiggy, do you want to see how I make some body scrub? For this scrub, I wanted it to be more moisturizing, so I didn't add any surfactants in my ingredient list. I was actually inspired by Herbivore's Coco Rose scrub, and like that very popular scrub, the ingredient at the top of the list, besides sugar that is coconut oil. I'm using a refined, bleached, and deodorized one here, but if you want a natural coconut scent, definitely use unrefined coconut oil, which is what I think Herbivore uses for their scrub. My next ingredient is PEG-6 capric caprylic triglycerides, which helps to moisturize and replenish skin. With scrubs, you don't want them to be too rough on your skin, so it's important to add ingredients that will help repair skin after exfoliation. Up next is our emulsifier. The emulsifier that I'm using today is Olive M1000, which creates nice thick creams. Not only does this help give the scrub body and viscosity, but it will also turn the scrub into a lotion once you rinse it off, leaving no oily mess in your shower or on your skin. To help thicken the emulsion, I'm adding cetyl alcohol. And after that, I'm adding glycerol stearate to help stabilize the emulsion and help prevent the oils from separating from the sugar. Stearic acid adds extra body to the scrub and helps keep the scrub from melting. Scrubs that are mainly made with a lot of coconut oil are vulnerable to melting and separating at high temps and need an ingredient like stearic acid to counteract that. This scrub also contains shea butter, which is such a lovely moisturizing ingredient. Shea butter, along with hemp seed oil, is an ingredient I add to mostly all of my products as they're not too heavy and greasy, and they also help nourish my skin. Once all of these ingredients are measured out, they need to be melted. I melt them in a water bath until everything is completely liquid. Now that the base is melted, it's actually too hot to add sugar or any of my other ingredients, so I place this in my refrigerator to cool down. Now I'm going to measure out my next group of ingredients. This includes my fragrance oil blend. I'm using Pumpkin by Mo Rouge Canada. I love the simplicity of this fragrance oil. It really does smell like pumpkin, but this paired with coconut from Candora Soap Supplies is fantastic and I'm obsessed. Even without any water in this recipe, I'm still adding a preservative, and the one I'm using here is Liquid Germall Plus. Water will most definitely be introduced in the jar through wet hands or splashes from a bath or shower, so it's best to keep your products safe by using a preservative. Next, I'm adding chrysanthemum extract for some skin rejuvenation and also to add some speckles to the scrub. This powder is not oil soluble, but once the base is whipped, it will suspend nicely in the scrub. I stirred this all together to make a slurry. Right now, it does not look very appealing, but that's okay. My preservative likes temps to be at 120 degrees Fahrenheit or below, so once my scrub cools down enough, I add this right in. I put my base into the fridge to solidify, and this is what it looks like. You can see that the extract settled to the bottom, but that's okay. Once everything is whipped, it'll be distributed nicely. To whip it, I'm using my KitchenAid stand mixer, so I'm going to transfer all of this into a mixing bowl. To the same bowl, I'm going to add my sugar. I'm using a white granulated sugar for this scrub. I find it's not too harsh and gives the perfect amount of exfoliation. Now it's all ready to be whipped. I use the whisk tool of my KitchenAid mixer to whip this into a fluffy cream. I started on the slow speed first and then moved to a higher speed to get it all incorporated. So here it is after it's been whipped up a bit. I'm going to scrape the sides so that we can really get all of that base goodness whipped in with the sugar so that it is an evenly distributed product. And then I'm going to start it up again and whip it a little bit longer. So this is the sugar scrub after it's been whipped, and you can see the consistency's beautiful. It's nice and soft. And I was going to color it orange. I was going to split it in half and do one half orange and then the other half white. But I'm actually really digging this white scrub. Like, there's just something so cool about it. I don't know. Kind of like a cookies and cream type of feel with it. It'll be interesting to see how this looks the next day, because it might get stiffer than this, but that's something I will definitely demo for you guys. So I'm just going to get these into their jars for now. And the jars we're using today are these 8-ounce glass jars from Uline. Kayla and I have been selling our scrubs in person, and we do find that people gravitate more to these glass jars than the low profile plastic jars, at least here in Calgary. So we're going back to this look. It could be different depending on the region that you're in. To get these into the jars, it's super simple. You just scoop it up and put it in, but using this might make it really messy, so I'm going to use a spoon and hopefully it's a little neater. I should really pipe it. It's funny because I don't want to pipe it because I'm lazy, but this is also way more work than piping at the same time. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys prefer to pipe your sugar scrubs in jars, or do you like scooping them in? I think it all comes down to personal preference. If you use colors, I think piping is the better option, because then you can get that really pretty eye-catching swirl. But having this white scrub with the flecks of the extract in there, I think make it look really, really nice. And once I get that label on there, it's gonna look pretty amazing, I think. And the smell, oh my goodness. The pumpkin with the coconut, it is a match made in heaven. I cannot stop just sniffing the general area of this. Well, obviously, because my nose is right above this bowl, but you guys know what I mean. So this is an 8-ounce jar. I'm going to measure how much product I can get in here. So I'm just going to set it down on my scale here. I'm going to tare it. Move this over 2 ounces and then measure this guy. Oh, this is actually 8 ounces. And it's probably because it's really fluffy. But I'm really curious to see whether or not it's going to be this soft, creamy consistency tomorrow, because sometimes sugar scrubs have the tendency to get hard overnight. So we'll see. I should really be adding more coconut to my products because people love coconut. Coconut is always a really good seller. And here's some news that I haven't told you guys. Kayla and I got into a farmer's market in Calgary that we are going to every Saturday. The details are slipping my mind right now, but this is where it is. I put the name of it down here, the time and everything. And so we went to our first one last Saturday, and we even brought some new pumpkin soaps, but we actually didn't sell any pumpkin soap. One thing that we've noticed sells really well at our markets are the bath bears, which is a huge surprise because they don't sell that well online. I wonder if it's because people just don't get them yet. We have to kind of coax people into the idea of it or something. I don't know. In person, people just eat them up. They love them. And they do look pretty adorable in person. So maybe that's it. But we've noticed that people in Calgary seem to really like their sparkle and color, at least the farmers markets and events that we've been to. And Kayla and I have a pretty busy schedule for this fall and Christmas season, which is awesome. I didn't think that we would be getting into it this early, but it just kind of found our way to us. My neighborhood actually hosted an event where I ran into one of my patrons and they had their booth set up and it was a beautiful booth. And it was just so cool meeting you guys. And I think that's gonna happen more and more with Kayla and I being out and about in Calgary, and also with us vending in Calgary and also attending these events in Calgary. We're just gonna keep running into you guys. But it's always such a cool experience. Every single one of you guys that I've met in person have been so respectful and so cool. I bought a soap from her, and if you are watching this, your soap was amazing. It had coconut milk in it, it had some lemongrass in it. But yeah, if you recognize me, don't be shy, say hi. So I am in love with this scrub. And just a reminder that this scrub isn't a foaming one. There's no surfactants in this formula. It's simply an emulsified sugar scrub that will rinse cleanly in the shower and won't feel oily, but it will have a moisturizing effect on your skin because the water, when it hits the emulsifiers in the scrub, are going to turn into lotion, which is a lovely feeling. So that is the jarred sugar scrub. I love the little bits of extract in there that look like cookies and cream crumble. I'm just gonna top off these jars and then cap them. And I have a little bit left in here that I'm going to just put into a tester for myself. So for my tester, I'm just gonna put it into this 2-ounce jar right here. And this is what I'm going to open up and try for you guys so we can check out the consistency and see whether or not it got any harder, and I'll show you how it rinses off too. So these types of scrubs are great for the winter and fall time because the ones that are foaming with surfactants in it can be really drying, and my skin is super dry this time of year, and especially around winter time. So having an emulsified sugar scrub is a great alternative that will give you that exfoliation but doesn't strip your skin as much, and it doesn't have that intense cleansing effect. Okay, so I will label these guys as well and show you what they look like tomorrow, and then we'll demo it. So here is my little tester scrub, and this is the very next day. And you can see how the scrub has stiffened a little bit. If you were to grab a little bit, just like that, it's still spreadable, which is nice, meaning you can smooth it over your skin and you're not going to lose a lot of sugar. And now when I rub it on my hands, remember this is not a foaming sugar scrub, it's an emulsified one, so you're not going to get any foam or bubbles, but you're going to get a lovely lotion-like consistency when the water hits it. And the effect is that your hands are not only exfoliated, but they are moisturized from that lotion. And that's why scrubs like this are much better to use when the weather gets cold and you have drier hands, because a foaming sugar scrub might strip and be really drying, at least for my skin this time of year and in the winter time. And it just rinses off so cleanly. I'm not left with an oily, sticky feeling. It's just like I washed my hands, and the smell, the scent of the scrub is amazing. This pumpkin coconut scrub, I'm in love with it. So here are our jars, and these are our 8-ounce straight-sided glass jars from Uline. And to label them, I printed these labels here from Online Labels, and these are the 1.8 by 1.8 size. And I designed these labels on Canva and also Photoshop. And since the jar is a little plainer, I wanted to make it a little bit more eye-catching by adding some stars and a little bit more fun to the label. I think the next time I design this label, I'm going to have the graphic be a little bit darker with thicker lines because you could barely see it. It's like a ghost pumpkin behind the word pumpkin coconut. And of course, you want to put the ingredients in the back. I think these 1.8 by 1.8 labels are a little small for this jar. As you can see, there's a lot of space in the top and the bottom. So I think for these 8-ounce straight-sided jars, the 2-inch by 2-inch label would probably fit these better. But I really like the clear labels for this jar. This is what the scrub looks like when the customer first opens it. So that is how you make a thick sugar scrub that won't strip your hands, making them feel really dry. Let me know what you guys think. Do you like your scrubs more creamy, or do you like a thicker consistency? If you enjoy this at all, don't forget to leave a like or subscribe if you want to see more fun fall projects. And there is a lot coming up, and I'm so excited about all of it. If you want the recipe for this scrub, that's on my Patreon, which is linked below. Thank you to everyone who has already chosen to support me on there. You guys are so amazing, especially my Bubble BFFs listed right over here. Your generosity gives me the ability to do what I do, and I appreciate each and every one of you. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Until the next video, keep smiling, keep being awesome, and as always, keep making beautiful things like pumpkin coconut sugar scrub. See you guys in the next one. Bye!